Welcome to GasEd. Today, we will be discussing a powerful new AI system that lets you build almost anything. Now look, if you're a business owner, an operator, or a marketer, you already know the bottleneck. Having a stellar product? Well, that's really only half the battle. The other half is generating the high-quality creative assets to actually sell the thing. Usually, that means hiring agencies, managing a bunch of freelancers, and basically burning through thousands of dollars. But today, we're going through an explainer of a system that is designed to completely disrupt that old model.
So what if one single prompt could build out your entire marketing campaign? The core thesis here is just wild. Imagine typing out a few sentences and having a system automatically conceptualize, storyboard, and generate all the video assets you need to launch. I know it sounds a bit like science fiction, but this platform operates on a product and distribution flywheel that's literally designed to take all that heavy lifting completely off your shoulders.
Enter Higsfield Supercompute. You can think of it as basically an agency in a box. It doesn't just hand you a blank canvas, it bundles the absolute top AI generation tools on the market into one unified chat interface. And the best part? It bakes in industry best practices and prompts right from the get-go. The value matrix here is pretty simple. You get optimal outputs as fast as possible, saving an immense amount of time and money, all without needing to be some kind of prompt engineering master.
All right, Section 1, the marketing supercomputer. Let's dive right into the mechanics and see how these marketing workflows actually operate.
This perfectly illustrates the massive paradigm shift happening in AI marketing right now. Think about the old way, the massive friction of patching together like 10 totally disjointed tools for text, images, video, upscaling. It's a headache. Higsfield totally changes the game by putting 12 unified workflows on one single belt. We're talking dedicated pipelines for UGC, TV ads, motion design, podcast assets, tutorials, the whole shebang. It's building real, usable depth, not just surface-level novelty.
Now, the real magic here is the brain powering these workflows. This system isn't just generating media, it acts as a central hub, giving you instant access to the most powerful orchestrative agents out there, like Opus 4.7 and ChatGPT 5.5. So when you kick off a project, an agent like Opus 4.7 essentially steps in as your director. It reasons through your request and triggers the exact underlying models needed to execute your creative vision. It's incredibly smart.
Moving on to Section 2, the sunglasses case study. Because abstract technology is great and all, but let's actually ground this in a tangible, real-world business scenario.
Imagine you run a sunglasses brand. Let's call it Spellbound, and you need a stunning 12-second cinematic ad for your website. You just drop your product images into the chat, ask for a cinematic ad, and boom, the AI kicks into gear. Step 1, it independently storyboards a multi-shot sequence with consistent styling. It'll even specify something like a Kodak Vision film look. Step 2, it generates the initial clips. And Step 3, it stitches them all together into one cohesive, beautifully finished advertisement.
Now, the absolutely crucial factor here is brand continuity. Historically, this has been the Achilles heel of AI video, right? Things morphing and shifting. But Higsfield tackles this with advanced frame-by-frame analysis. You feed it a reference URL or a source image, and the system just locks in on your product's specific visual identity. So as the virtual camera pans and zooms in your final video, your product remains absolutely consistent.
Okay, Section 3, the economics of AI. Because let's be real, building high-end, compute-heavy video assets isn't free. We need to manage expectations around the actual business realities of this tech.
So Higsfield uses these transparent credit-based pricing tiers, and they range from about $15 up to $129 a month. You might be wondering, why credits? Well, utilizing Opus 4.7 for logic and spinning up massive rendering models for pixels requires some really heavy server compute. But as a business owner, you can optimize this. By going with annual plans, you can bring costs down to roughly $39 for a block of 1,000 credits. To put that into perspective, that highly complex 12-second cinematic ad we just talked about, that might cost you around 100 credits. And when you're evaluating those credit costs, you really have to compare them to the traditional alternatives. I mean, you don't need to hire an agency, book a physical shoot, source models, or fly a whole camera crew out to Italy just to get a beautiful cinematic shot of your product sitting on a table. Viewed through the lens of traditional professional production budgets, this software is a massive, massive cost-saving measure. But we do need to draw a line in the sand here. This is a serious enterprise-grade investment. If you're a business owner, you have to understand that this is distinctly different from paying $20 a month for your standard unlimited text chatbot.
High-end video orchestration requires a premium investment, for sure, but the return is professional-grade collateral that actually drives revenue.
Let's transition to Section 4, Best Practices for Iteration. Because professional AI generation isn't just push-button magic, it requires active, hands-on management from you to execute properly.
3 to 5. That is the realistic number of iterations it's actually going to take to course-correct the system and achieve a flawless final asset. Like, it's virtually impossible to one-shot a perfect cinematic ad on your very first try. You are the creative director here, and you have to actively pilot this supercomputer.
To nail that perfect result, you really need a strict methodology. First off, your initial prompt absolutely must be explicitly detailed. Second, use the built-in memory functions to sustain context across your session. And third, provide really granular feedback. Say the AI generates your sunglasses, but the handle is folded backwards, which is a super common AI hallucination. Don't just scrap the whole thing. Instead, reply with something like, "Okay, the aesthetic is good, but the handle folded back. Fix that and sequence the shot so the model puts them on the table with a slow zoom." You really must guide it.
To support all of this workflow, the platform includes a dashboard specifically tailored for operators. You can track detailed files, monitor your exact credit spend, so you know you don't accidentally blow your budget, and you can utilize external software connectors. This means you can seamlessly link those incredible assets you've just generated directly into your existing business pipelines and distribution channels. So the workflows, the economics, the iteration, the technology is absolutely here right now, and the barrier to professional creative output has literally never been lower. Which leaves us with one final critical question to ponder. Is your business ready to replace its agency with an algorithm? That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.